This is the Tom Barnard Podcast. Listen live weekday mornings, 8 to 9:30, or anytime you like as a podcast on the Tom Barnard app at tombarnardshow.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen. Just looking at the headlines for today. I was looking at it. It's 60 degrees already.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like it feels a little bit chillier than that outside.
It does.
Yeah.
That's why I was kind of surprised that it was 60 degrees. I mean, it's for October 30th. It's warm, no question about that. Are they still thinking we might get a little snow tomorrow? I hadn't seen
Not
the latest
that
one.
I've seen, but Chris is my go-to weather source, and if he says it's going to snow, damn it, it's going to snow.
I saw there's a chance for like some flakes, but I don't think it. You might see it, but I don't think you're going to see it stick. If that makes sense.
They were talking about Sansevier and you guys, some flakes. You know what I'm saying?
Couple of flakes.
You don't hear anybody being called a flake anymore, do you? It used to be a flake was a big deal, like in the 60s. Man, what a flake that guy is.
Oh yeah, if you like make plans and then you don't go, type of thing. Yeah. Well, then now it transitioned into more of like a snowflake. Like if AJ cries because his commute in was
every day. You mean?
Yeah,
every
whatever.
day.
I don't know, whatever.
I have a nice cry right on 694. Yeah.
You know what else happened? I love that.
I can't believe they cut me off. But yeah, it looks like rain or snow, 97% chance tomorrow.
97,
depending on how cold it gets.
So. Jesus.
You know what I found out? That percentage is not. It's not like everybody has the same percentage chance of that. It's in a given area. There's a 97% of that area is going to get rain, where 3% will not.
Yeah,
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I thought it was like, hey, if it's 50-50, might rain, might not.
Yeah.
It's not like that. It's like the area that you're saying.
So it's going to rain, but it all depends between 50 and 90%.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, there you go. See, I didn't know that either. I had no clue. I thought it was the chance of rain.
Yeah.
Right?
That's
tell them to shut up then if they can't do it right.
It's a very weird way to describe it.
Well, I think they just make it confusing.
Yeah.
So that way it justifies the need for the weatherman to like be more elaborate with pointing at green screens.
They make more money.
Yeah.
There you go. I want to do this, but I want to offer $1 million for this. Okay.
I'm all ears.
Okay. There's a Ring. But Ring is the doorbell.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Ring is offering $100,000 for undeniable footage of a real ghost. You guys should offer $1 million.
All they're asking for is a bunch of images of little kids and like adults in like
kids, a real scary movie. Yeah, undeniable footage. And again, I'm always reminded the day my great grandmother died, she was standing at the edge of my bed and she was about 120 miles away. But did I hear something that I don't remember hearing? And then when I went to bed, I then projected it through a dream. Is that what happened? Did I hear she was dying? And I don't remember hearing that, but maybe I did.
I know sometimes I have like those dreams where you wake up and for maybe like half an hour or to an hour, it's like, that was a real experience. Like I remember going to the water park in the middle of December. I remember that. But then it clicks where it's like, that doesn't make as much sense. That was probably just in my dream.
Yeah.
Because sometimes they can feel a little more like if you're half asleep, you're taking the surroundings around you and then kind of dropping in your own thoughts and subconscious and stuff like that. So maybe it could have been one of those, but it also could have been a very real apparition. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, apparition. Yeah.
Thank you.
I've never seen a ghost I've never seen any of that stuff. Do they not like, they've heard the show, they don't care for me?
Yeah, they're like, yeah, we get enough of him on the KQ morning show and the Tom Barnard show, the family show. We're done.
They probably thought about haunting you a time or two, but then it's like, God, this guy just keeps talking.
It's like, he called me a candy ass.
Oh, I should tell you, by the way, the Lunds and Byerlys and Wayzata you had a lot of listeners in that store.
Ooh.
All the way from the cashiers, stock boys, the manager, the whole deal. So, because every time I go in there, I torture them. It's wonderful.
And the Lunds and Barleys of Wise, that is top notch. The only one that rivals it is the brand new one that was built in Apple Valley.
Really?
That's like the Taj Mahal of
the Taj Mahal of Lunds and Byerly.
Pristine.
It's gorgeous.
We do have great shopping malls and centers and all grocery stores in Minnesota. We do, because I go to Cub for some things. I go to Lunds and Byerly's for some things. I go to Kowalski's for some things. I miss Jim Kowalski. How would you like to die by walking into a propeller of an airplane?
Wait, Is that actually how he died?
Yes.
There's somebody like the other day, there was a story that came up on my feed that was a photographer backed into a propeller of a plane and died
and killed him. Jim apparently walked into the propeller of an airplane. I think it was on like a fishing trip or something.
Interesting.
But Jim was a great guy.
That's probably up there on the list of worst ways to go out.
Although you wouldn't know it.
Oh,
like, boom, you're gone.
It'd be lights. The lights are on, and suddenly it's pitch black.
Yep. Exactly. He's like, my God. But yeah, tremendous guy. But after you binge on Halloween candy, you should eat sauerkraut. A little balance for the sweet and sour.
Maybe this is an unpopular opinion, but there is no situation in my life that I will ever be like, yeah, let me get some of that sauerkraut.
You don't eat it?
Oh, no. And I understand there's a lot of people that are going to disagree with that, especially living in the Midwest, but I can't do sauerkraut.
Like if I have like Polish sausage or like if I'm having brats, I think sauerkraut is like a mandatory side or whatever. I guess it is like
a topping, I guess.
Yeah, you kind of just mix it in. But yeah, I enjoy sauerkraut.
So we got to take a break and then we'll be right back. I don't know, but I'm assuming that the Yankees won the game last night because they're up like 5-2 last I saw.
They put up a 10 spot.
A 10 spot? Because I know a guy hit a grand slam.
I think the final was 11-4, and it started after. Did you see the fan in the first inning?
Yes.
Nah, what happened?
There was a foul ball hit down the line. I want to say it was Gleyber Torres. But down the line, foul ball, Mookie Betts goes over and makes the catch right up against the wall. His glove kind of reaches like slightly into the fan. 2 Yankee fans right on the wall grab his glove in his arm and like are trying to rip the ball out. Believe it or not, they got escorted out.
No.
So you can't do that. You watched a grand total of 2 outs, 1 out of the game, only to interfere with a player, like one of the most expensive players in baseball. And get escorted out, and then that might have been the head games needed for the Yankees because they steamrolled after that instance.
No question, they're down 3-0 in games. They were down in that game 2-0. I know at one point, and then they came storming back. The last pitch I saw was when the kid hit the home run. That guy looked like he was about 15 years old, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, Gleyber, I think.
Yeah,
he had that home run. I want to say in the 7th.
Was it the 7th already?
I guess
it was a grand slam. I know that.
I think I'm thinking of the one later on in the game to put him up quite a bit. Yeah. Yeah.
Because they were down, I think 2-1, and then he hit the grand slam. They went up 5-2. That's when his grand slam. But yeah, it's you got to admit that's a hell of a comeback. You're getting your ass kicked 3 games in a row, and you come back and hit and what score? You say 10 runs?
I think the final was 11-4.
11-4. There you go. All right, we'll take a break. Be right back. Some, sports hun yuck. He'll come on. We'll ridicule him. It'll be great. Mike Lindell, MyPillow employees, want to thank my listeners for all your continued support. When Mike started MyPillow, it was just a problem solution, one product company. Well, since then, they now have hundreds of products, some you may not even know about. For example, the brand new 4-pack dish towels, just $25. 6-pack towel sets, just $25. Bed sheets for as low as $25. Check out their overstock and closeout sale and save up to 80% off select items. You're looking for a good night's sleep? Take advantage of the classic collection on a variety of MyPillows for as low as $9.88. These amazing offers won't last long, so order now. Just go to mypillow.com, call 800-516-5146, and use promo code TOM.
When you need someone to listen, a lawyer you know and trust.
If you've never been in an auto accident, it's hard to know what to expect from the insurance adjuster. Here are some tips. 1, if they talk to you about whether or not you should hire a lawyer, it's a good sign that you probably should. 2, it's illegal for them to give you any legal advice. They aren't lawyers, and they aren't licensed to practice law. 3, if they tell you that everyone involved in the accident is at fault, they're wrong. This comes from the belief that you're at fault for just being on the road. That's nonsense and not supported by any law. Finally, remember that friendly adjusters are often just gaining information. They want you to do most of the talking so they can file their report. I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw & Bryant. I hope you're never injured in a collision. But if you are, don't sign anything until you've talked to us.
Find Bradshaw & Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
Seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw & Bryant.
Does thinking about retirement make you uncomfortable? No, actually, it does not. I mean, the retirement part where you don't have to get up in the morning and work anymore. I mean, that part. Sometimes the anxiety from wondering if you've saved enough can be overwhelming, though. Yeah, the money part's a totally different story. But what if I told you could ease those tensions just 48 minutes? My guy, Josh Arnold, Mr. Money Talk, can sit down with you and get you on the right track for your financial future. Josh has navigated it all when it comes to uncertain market and economic conditions. He'll always provide straight talk, never sugar-coated advice on how to reach the finish line with your retirement goals. Don't let your financial worries give you an ulcer or keep you from calling Josh right now. His 48-minute no-obligation consultation could be just what you need to feel better about your future. Call Josh today, 952-925-5608. Set up your free 48-minute no-obligation consultation. That's 952-925-5608. Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC Security Investment Advisor. Past performance, no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice. And I am a paid endorser.
You're listening to the Tom Barnard Podcast.
There's a grand slam. We were just talking about how the whole thing's going, man. Quite the game for New York.
Yeah, they came back. The incredible story is that Freddie Freeman of the Dodgers is the first player in World Series history to homer in the first 4 games. But yeah, the Yankees came back. I think he's from Jersey. Anthony Volpe hits a grand slam.
Yep.
And we at least get one more game from a series that was threatening to be a sweep. So now if the Yankees can make it interesting if they win tonight, because then it goes back to Dodger Stadium for Game 6. So
right.
I think if they win tonight, it's officially a series. I think at this point it's just a nice effort at least. Did you see the 2 fans and the fan that tried to?
We were just talking about that.
Oh my God, it was incredible. How do you not get arrested? Like they were assaulting Mookie Betts.
But they threw him out, didn't they?
Yeah.
They threw him out of the stadium,
which is roughly $1,200 a ticket just down the drain for the section they were sitting in.
Well, yeah, but those 2 guys look like such hacks in life. They probably loved it because they got so much TV attention. Yep. Like those are. Oh yeah, those 2 guys are at their job today. I'm sure just taking a absolute bow. That's well worth their being kicked out for that, I'm sure, in their minds. If
you look up stereotypical New Yorker in the dictionary, it's just a picture of those 2 guys, and I can hear their accent without even having them open their mouths.
And my favorite thing is a guy like 2 or 3 people over from them. He's in the stands wearing, and this is something that is like after my time playing baseball, but I guess it's pretty popular now. It's the sliding mitt. Like it's the mitt where it's like it just makes your hand a paw.
Yeah.
So you
like
don't jam your fingers. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He just had one of those, like not a baseball glove, and the sliding mitt on his hand for whatever reason to watch the baseball game.
That's weird.
Like I don't know what's going on in the Bronx. They
the Bronx, that encapsulates our country today. A dude shows up at a baseball game with a sliding mitt. That's everything that's wrong with America right now.
You're right.
Game is gone. Fully gone.
It is unbelievable. You know what we should do? One day before the season's over, so it's going to have to be one day this week because the season would end either way on Sunday or something?
Sounds right.
Yeah. Game 7 will be. Yeah,
I think so.
I think you're right.
But in any case, the worst thing you've ever heard someone yell out at a baseball game.
Oh God.
Oh my God. Can you think back on all the things you've heard people say at a game out loud? It's like, oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially if you go back to the 70s and stuff. Yeah.
Especially if you go to areas like Boston.
Oh God. I've never, I've heard the stories. I've been to I made my one and only trek to Fenway in 2000. I think it was 18. And I love the ballpark, but yeah, I've heard the stories, especially in the bleachers where I didn't sit. And I mean, it is brutal.
I guess Jim Rice, who is one of my favorite players of all time. I mean, any guy that can take a bat that's not snapped anyway and snap it in half. Give that a whirl sometime. See how far you get.
Yeah. It was like Bo Jackson.
Yeah. Yep. What a nice guy that guy. Is he around still?
I believe so.
I hope so.
Bo Jackson. He didn't die, did he?
No, he's fine.
God, I hope not.
No.
What a talent.
He's good. Jim Rice is good. Yeah, no.
Rice. But you guys ever remember the worst thing you've ever heard someone yell? Well, I mean, you can't say the worst because I'm sure someone would get vile, but
yeah, I'm not sure there's one that stands out as like the worst thing. I feel like nowadays it's the funny people that stand out more. Like I went to an LA Kings hockey game years ago, and there was like a guy that just the entire game, like plays going down at the other end, he's just harassing the hell out of the goalie that's over here. Like he's not even that's good. He's not even watching the game. He's just getting his jokes off for this goalie.
Now the reason I even bring that up is I'm going to make a reference. You guys, you may have heard of him. You maybe never heard of him. The worst. And I did hear him say something one time. I was like, oh my God. His name was Harvey Cancer Mouth Brown from Boston. You ever heard of him?
No.
Look him up and see if they got any quotes from Harvey Cancer Mouth Brown. I can give you one of the easier ones that he said. It doesn't sound too, loving and caring, but this guy used to sit at home and produce things he was going to say at the ballpark.
Yep.
He'd research them to try them out, see how they sounded.
So professional heckler, which is what basketball used to have. There was a guy in Washington who would sit behind the opposing team's bench. I think this is back when they were the Bullets, and he would always keep it clean, but absolutely harass players. So he didn't swear, but he would he would spend the entire game, and I think he would like look up personal information about him.
Oh,
and stuff.
Yes. Absolutely.
So it got ugly, but it was never, but he didn't cross a line where he could be thrown out.
You guys find anything?
Oh, no, I couldn't find anything on.
There's really no reference to him.
No, when I type Harvey Cancer Mouth Brown, it's just a bunch of like cancer research.
Yep. Oh, Jesus, that's not good.
Not great.
No, I mean, what do you expect, right?
But with cancer, though, I think the worst thing I've heard as far as like heckling or taunting was Kevin Garnett. They were playing, I can't remember what team they were playing, but there was Charlie Villanueva who has alopecia, so he doesn't have any hair on his head. And they're standing at the free throw line, and Kevin Garnett's, he like looks at me and goes, "You look like a cancer patient." And he starts like heckling him about looking like a cancer patient. And somebody was like, "Yeah, he has alopecia. Like he's like, don't have any hair." And he was like, "I don't care." Like he just kept doubling down. So
that's terrible. Well, so my Cancer Mouth Brown one's not as bad as that one.
Yeah, not too far out.
Although, okay, so Harvey Cancer Mouth Brown sitting out there. He always sat in the first row in center field. And I can't say which player it was, but you'll know as soon as the question he yelled out at him. Very, very famous Boston Red Sox. That's all I have to say. Hey out there. What comes out of Chinese people's asses? Rice. It was Jim Rice, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Jesus. It's like, how long did you work on that one?
Yeah, that's not, I mean, what? So why was he riding his own, the Red Sox players?
He just never stopped. That's all I'm surprised. Although I'm not surprised that you can't find any reference to him because it got so bad. I don't think they probably don't even want it in their publication.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some where it goes from the point of like, okay, now you're just being an ass. You're not like funny or memorable. Like
that's not funny, right?
No, there was, when I was in high school, we were playing the Spooner Rails in basketball. And in the they had one player that he had this huge afro. And he had also a little sweaty butt syndrome going on. And he's standing at the free throw line, shooting free throws. And I remember somebody in our student section goes, "Hey," like it's dead silent. They're just, "Hey, why don't you take some of that hair off the top of your head and dry your ass?" And like the entire gym, like parent section, student section, everybody's just laughing. I'm like, this poor kid is just getting roasted at the free throw line.
This is in a high school game?
High school game.
Oh yeah, that's brutal.
We're probably like 15, 16 years old, just letting people have it.
That's terrible.
It was good times.
It's funny,
yeah,
but it's terrible.
Times.
But
exactly.
I was never one of those kind of guys to yell out the taunts or any of that stuff. I just like, whatever.
Well, you got to be I think you have to be very, what's the word, obtuse too.
Yeah.
Like because you are often just making an ass of yourself.
Yes.
And you're annoying.
Right.
The people that won't stop yelling do get so annoying. The problem back in the day in baseball was when beer was cheaper and people would just get loaded.
mean, it wasn't $50 a can back in those days.
Yeah, it wasn't $16 for a craft beer because there was no craft beer.
$16. I just got $16.
We went to a hockey game on Saturday night at the X, and my wife Dawn got a beer, Mick Golden Light, in a souvenir type of cup, not like a huge pop cup, but a beer cup, $18.
Isn't it just well, I told you before. Now you take 4 guys, you each have 3 beers. That 12-pack of light beer just cost you a few bucks short of $200.
Yeah.
It's like, what the
heck? Can't afford to get drunk and heckle anymore.
Oh no. And every once in a while you'll see somebody spill their drink and you're like, well, there's about $20 that you just crumbled up and threw into the crowd.
It's a lot of money, man.
Yeah, and we're very. I mean, we are very, very close to that beer being $20.
It'll be $20 the next couple of years, probably. I would think. I don't know. We'll see how the whole thing goes.
I think you're right. I think it will be.
You guys going to make it through the election this week?
Oh God!
I guess it's next week, actually. So the next 6 days.
I cannot wait till the ads.
I know.
Here. That's my thing. I can't. It's too much. It's always too much, but it's really too much.
This time it is way, way too much. It's just so much hatred and all the. Well, look at all the people just getting shot in the streets. There's another guy. What is he, like 80 some years old? And somebody just hit him on the street in the car. Didn't even bother to stop.
Yeah. Well, that's
what the hell?
I'm telling you, I think the whole thing went. I mean, not that it's ever been perfect. Don't get me wrong here, but. Right. I think the whole thing in that vein went sideways during the pandemic.
Yep,
I don't know what's happened, and I'm not citing politics here, but have you guys driven on like 94 the last 4 years?
Yep,
it's become the Autobahn. People are crazy. Yeah. I don't know what happened if it was the streets were cleared out, and so people just got used to driving how they wanted and stuff. But it's incredible.
Oh, yeah. And I think it was definitely because of the pandemic, because you had the combination of nobody was on the roads. So you just, I can drive 80 and nothing's going to happen. And then the police, when everybody was, well, if you come within 4 feet of somebody, you're going to get COVID and probably die because everybody was scared. Yep. Like, well, the police don't necessarily want to pull over every Yahoo that's out on the road. So people, just got used to, well, want to do 90 and a 55? Why not?
Yeah.
Nice touch. You're unbelievable because just this morning I had a driving incident getting onto I-94. It was actually 394.
Yeah, but yeah.
All right, hopping on 394. I am going the speed you're supposed to be going when you're going onto a freeway from a street, right?
Mm-hmm.
This guy behind me is tailgating the piss out of me.
Yeah,
I mean, just right on my right. So I'm like, whatever. What do you do? Hit my car? No, I don't care where you are, whatever. So I end up going to the far left lane because I have one of those passes. You pay money to drive in the lane or whatever it is. So as he goes by me, he gives me the finger. And I look at him and point at him and start laughing in his face. Boy, did he get pissed off. He didn't pull me over, but he was not happy that I was laughing at him while he was giving me the finger.
Well, and the tailgating thing's another thing. You're right.
Yeah. You were wrong, pal. I was doing the speed limit. I was doing what I was supposed to be doing. Right. You're a prick.
Right. Well, and it's one thing to be on a straightaway. And if because then if you get tailgated, you can either switch lanes or just speed up yourself, which is a pain, but it's fine.
Right.
But like you're saying, when you're merging and stuff,
just calm down.
You can't just hit the accelerator. I'm telling you, I swear to God, the pandemic made the world crazy.
It did. You're absolutely right about, like I said, my whole job during the pandemic, it changed my job completely because people were acting like such nut jobs. Like, Jesus, what have you lost your mind? We're not going to all die no matter what. What was that little Italian prick's name again?
Oh, Fauci.
Fauci. Yeah, that typical Sansevier kind of some bitch. Anyway, yeah, I just, and what did they do? They made huge money off of telling you that stuff. He got very wealthy. You know that, right?
Well, I mean, yeah, and so did the folks that came up with the vaccines.
No, it's all about money. It's always about money now.
Yeah.
Isn't that sad?
Oh,
I mean,
God,
of course, you're in radio and podcasting. That's not about money at all. It's about some money, but you know.
Yeah, it's about what we can get, but we just don't get that much.
That's the whole deal right there.
I think that's
what the hell.
Fair.
All right, Palomino. So what else you got from closing for us?
The Wolves lose to Dallas in a rematch of the Western Conference Finals last night. It was actually the Wolves turned the ball over 20 times, so they didn't play great, but it was a fun game. I was there. Target Center was packed. It was great atmosphere. And then the Wild in Marc-Andre Fleury's last ever start in Pittsburgh, where he spent his first 13 years and is beloved, actually beat the Penguins. And they're off to a really good start. So
that's good.
Between those two things and the World Series, it was a action-packed sports night, Tom.
Certainly was, no question. You know what? I watched a little bit of that Timberwolves game, and I hate to say this, but the Timberwolves players looked like they had this. It wasn't like fear, but it looked like they were uncomfortable to be playing that game. You know what I mean? It just, the looks on their faces were kind of like maybe it was a little fear or something. I don't know what the hell it was, but it was like, God, that's kind of odd.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was the team that knocked us out of the playoffs last year, and Luka Doncic is a dog. Like, he hit a 3 from what seemed to be half court just to ice the game late in the game. He had this like ridiculous scooping right-handed layup that only him and probably Kyrie Irving, who was also on the team, could make. And then they add Klay Thompson, who is one of the greatest shooters in the history of the NBA. So they're one of those teams where no matter what you do, you're probably wrong, and they're just going to make everything.
Right. Oh, well.
Yeah. And Kyrie is really good.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Kyrie is really, really good. But I mean, it's fun because the expectations are so high and they are a good team. It's fun because the building is packed again, and it's like it was electric last night, which is only the second home game of the season. So that bodes well for the I think the interest that the Twins had at one time has probably transferred itself over across the street.
Yeah, you think so? That's probably, it might be true.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think that. Yes, I think definitely.
Yeah, you're right. All right. Well, we will talk to you again tomorrow.
Awesome. Talk to you. And I will have more exciting sports news.
I like exciting sports news.
And hopefully the pandemic stuff will subside one day.
Hey, listen, they didn't make very much money off it. It was only like several hundreds of billions of dollars, maybe $1 trillion. But, other than that. Yeah. All right, Pally, talk to you later.
Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, take a break. Be right back in a couple of minutes. A little schmoozing going on. It's Tom for Wellshire Alzheimer's and Dementia Care Facilities. Wellshire Alzheimer's and Dementia Care Facilities are a place where your loved one, will live with pride and dignity. If you care deeply about someone in your life, Wellshire is the place I highly recommend. Wellshire is a memory care focused facility that has a full nursing team, always staffed within the building, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They have never used or relied on any staffing agencies. Wellshire of Medina is now accepting elderly waivers after 12 months of private pay. Look, I know these people personally. They're good people. They'll take care of your family. That's just how it is. They're family-owned, a local company, conveniently located right in Medina and Bloomington. Best staffed memory care facility in the state, as a matter of fact. Wellshire has a robust community with activities 7 days a week. If your loved one is in need of a memory care facility, please get in touch with my friends at Wellshire. Set up a tour or learn more at wellshiremn.com. That's WEALSHIREMN.com.
This is Brett Paul from Valley Buick GMC in Apple Valley. We have always had a professional sales staff on our show floors, but recently have added a few more to the arsenal. Neil Hadding was a salesperson at Valley for over 2 decades, probably the best truck guy around. He left for a management position elsewhere, but decided to kick back and return to work with thousands of his old friends and customers. It's a similar story with Tim Condon. He spent many years in the sales and finance at Valley before spending time in Alaska, to the relief of many, many friends and customers who returned a few years back. Not a returnee, but a welcome addition to our seasoned staff is Charlie Fink. Charlie followed Neil to Apple Valley to head up the finance department. He is well known to many Twin City car customers after being in the business for over 3 decades. If you're looking for a familiar face or just the face of experience, visit one of these professionals at Jim Paul's Valley Buick GMC in Apple Valley or Hastings, or at valleycardealers.com.
Let's take a second. Let us take a second. That's what we'll do, is take a second to talk about my bank, North American Banking Company. If you own a business or thinking about starting one, make sure to check out my friends at North American Banking Company. When your business is looking to capitalize on an opportunity or solve a problem, turn to their experts because they are locally owned and operated. Loan decisions are made here in the Twin Cities, not shipped out of state. This helps business owners and they expand with confidence. So if you're looking for a better banking experience, why not bank with my friends at North American Banking Company? Go to nabankco.com to learn more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
You're listening to the Tom Barnard Podcast.
Channel 5's Chris Egert is brought to you by Mr. Money Talk, Josh Arnold. Call Josh today for your free 48-minute evaluation to 952-925-5608. What's that crabby look on your face?
That's just resting dick face, I guess. I'm never not
dick face. There you go.
All right.
All right. Here we go with the show, ladies and gentlemen.
Resting Richard face. How's that? Is that better?
There you go.
Yeah, oh God, I almost said something I would have regretted for the rest of my life. I almost said, no, I like dick face. Thank God I decided not to say that.
Yeah, I guess I don't know if I can say that on this podcast, but
they'll get over it, for God's sake. Relax.
Do we have the numbers on how many kids are listening?
Well, no, I don't think a lot of kids listen to this show. No question. They're busy listening to Joe Rogan.
Are they?
Oh, his audience is very, very young, actually.
I know, but are the kids listening to Joe Rogan?
Yeah, I don't know if Joe crushes it in the 12 to 15.
Oh, I think he does.
You think so?
I think he actually. I was told he does anyway. I don't know if he does, but you can look it up.
Well, I watched it for the first time. I watched the Trump interview there last week. Yep. That's the first time I've seen clips of his podcast, but I've never actually watched it before, but I watched it for that. So
I know it's really hard for you to believe this, but he and I don't get along too well. So, it's just the way that.
Yeah, I kind of see that.
Yeah. I'm not his kind of guy. Let me put it that way.
Yeah. That all tracks.
It does. There's no question. It's just whatever works. Right now, Adam Carolla. I like Adam. We haven't had Adam on in a while. What the hell's he been?
Yeah. I feel like
pain in the ass.
I feel like he's usually on when he's in town, but he's a big shot now.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he's a big shot.
Oh, I didn't know that. He's a big shot. So what's going on in your world, Pally?
Well, I guess the big thing today is the old weather forecast, because in the middle of the night when some of us were getting ready to go to work, it was like over 70 degrees, and the temperature's going to just drop off throughout the day today. And then there could be some snow tomorrow. So there you go. Here we are.
It came up 1991, ladies and gentlemen. Andy at 4 years old. Alex is 2 years old. We got almost 3 feet of snow on Halloween night.
It ain't going to do that. It's not going to do that this time. It's going to be, it sounds to me like a dusting to a little bit more as you go north of the Twin Cities. But, that first little taste of snow always, gets everybody all riled up. So
I understand. No question about it. So
what else do we have? We had our final KSTP Survey USA poll that shows Kamala Harris has an 8-point lead in Minnesota in the presidential race. That's the big picture overarching number. You break it down, it's different. Outstate or greater Minnesota, Donald Trump is leading. So a lot of it's falls along sort of the lines that you would expect it to, but that was our last. We came out with that sort of yesterday, so that was another thing we had in the news today. So I don't think anything really surprising there.
Mike Lindell and I tried to talk Trump into coming on this show way back, and I wonder if that would have changed. Look, I don't want to change any elections or anything like that, but I wonder how that would have worked out. I mean, 8 points is not that much. First of all, most of those polls are not very accurate anyway.
Well, except for Chris's poll.
For Chris.
KSTP.
Yeah, I think we could name her the winner of
obviously that's the bellwether for now. People will always say that about polls, that it is what it is, right? Like
it is what it is. Yeah. I don't know.
What's the margin of error? The credibility interval or margin of error is 4%. So if you just take it at that, we're saying 8% is what our numbers are showing. So then subtract 4 from that, and then are you really that far apart then? I don't know.
Whatever. Whoever wins. Look, do you think whoever wins is going to do anything for you and me anyway?
Nope.
No, I mean, people get so wound up about, it's Trump. No, it's Kamala. Oh my, what are they going to do for you? They get all the money, you get nothing.
Right. Their goal is to get you to put their name on top of the ballot and put it in the box. And after that, they're like, we could care less.
No doubt about it. I mean, there's some crazy ass things going on in people's heads as far as what politicians should do and all that stuff now anyway. I mean, some of the stuff that's being passed in other states and in this one, it's like, holy God. Minnesota's now, I think California got pissed off because Minnesota raised their state taxes. You know, California state tax is now like 12%.
That's wild.
12%. I'm like, holy God. Minnesota, it's 9.9.
Yeah. We have lots of good taxes here, but at least we have great roads.
Yes. Oh, yes. Like Highway 55, which they've been repairing now for about 5 years.
Yeah, that's another thing. It's like there's a ton of road construction that's out there right now that's really frustrating people. Yeah. And the biggest one, it's going to be like for the next month, it's 35W north into downtown Minneapolis. AJ shaking his head because maybe, you wouldn't go that way to get to the TV station, would you? Because you're coming from St. Louis Park, but the detours and everybody taking different routes has the past 2 days I've noticed it already. It's made it so much worse. And then just randomly it's just like, we're gonna close this lane. Hope that is not an inconvenience for you. You can't get off at this exit anymore. You have to go up another 10 miles and then do a whole roundabout, come on back through over. Well, that's what 35 northbound in downtown Minneapolis, you cannot hop on 94 east right now. So, I mean, that's the main coming up into Minneapolis to go to St. Paul. Like, it couldn't be that's about as big of a thorough, the two main roads meeting right there. So the MNDOT detour is drive all the way up to 36, go through Roseville, cut around and come down on 35E, which, I mean, yeah.
And when this construction's done, it better be the most immaculate, jam-free section of road. Like now, all I feel we're doing is keeping the orange construction cone companies afloat because nothing ever really changes. We just put cones out, shut it down, and reopen it.
I want to know why it's waited till now. It is the end of October. Why are we not doing this in like the summer months when there was a stretch there where we had like no rain. It would have been perfect. Just knock it out, probably a week or two, and then it's done, and we're just fine.
Well, what we like to do is we like to wait till like the Vikings season starts and like the Timberwolves season starts. So there's like concerts and stuff. So there's the maximum amount of people that will be using these roads, and then we shut them down.
Unbelievable. God.
Yeah, that's a good point, Tevin. Sunday night game at US Bank Stadium.
Everybody's going through Roseville. You're fine.
Now, while they wouldn't be going east on 94 to get to the stadium, that still will cause all kinds of additional backup because of less traffic flow will be able to get off there. So,
I got to tell you something because I know you got to go in a couple of minutes, but something just popped up on my screen that I cannot believe. Yesterday was the day this happened. A drunk golfer in Canada got arrested for smashing his driver over another guy's head. Oh. He was angry after the guy's group hit into him. Now, I don't know about that, if that's true or not. There were two incidents yesterday, one in Canada, one in America, that we know of that were in the news. This is obviously the international news, where golfers attacked each other with golf clubs on the golf course. This one was in Canada. The other one was in a state called Minnesota. A guy thought another guy stole his $3 golf ball. The guy snuck up behind the other guy, hit him so hard with golf clubs, he broke his leg. You know how hard you got to hit somebody with a golf club to break their leg, right? The guy with the broken leg, 6'4", weighs about 220, is my brother-in-law.
No kidding.
Yeah, my brother-in-law got attacked yesterday from behind.
Where did that happen, Tom?
Down in the South Metro.
Really?
Or was it Brookview? Might have been.
Anybody? Was that we didn't have that in the news. Did anybody cover that?
Broke his. I don't know if they did or not. Well, Michael Bryant knew all about it. He called me about it this morning. Oh no, Doug Sprinthall's here. Oh no. But yeah, hit him so hard. I think he broke one of his hands. He broke his leg. I mean, Jesus. And like I said, Daryl's a big guy too. That's probably why he snuck up from behind him. My brother-in-law was attacked with a golf club.
Really?
Yeah, broke his leg and his arm.
Woodhill or where?
Yeah, Woodhill. It was at Woodhill. That's exactly where it was.
Bear Path.
Bear Path. Was at Bear Path. Oh my God! But yeah, can you believe? And then I come in this morning. There's another story about a guy in Canada getting attacked. Hit him over the head with a driver.
I'm sorry to say, but it doesn't surprise me. People are so freaking triggered, man. And if they're out on the golf course and they're enjoying some extracurricular activities while they're golfing, I mean, I don't know. I'm sadly not surprised, and people turn into freaking jackwagons when they're on the golf course sometimes too. You like pump the brakes there a little bit, Greg Norman. I mean, come on.
I had an instance like that this summer. I golfed with some college buddies over at I want to say it was Gross National, or I think so. Mm-hmm. And we were tailed by this foursome the entire time, and they kept hitting into us.
Oh God!
And the first couple of times it was like, okay, it was a bad shot. You know, we were on the next green. It was kind of right next to each other. It was close. Whatever. You hit the card, not a big deal. And then okay, there's a hill, so you can't see us off the tee box, but just wait a little bit more. But then it was like 4 more holes, and my buddy, who I've never seen, get angry. We're on a par 3. We're walking off, and all of a sudden, this tee shot just rolls up on us. He takes his wedge and just flips him off, hits it in like 7 holes over. Those guys did not like it. There was no real confrontation until about a couple holes later when I was like, oh my God, there's going to be a fight. And then they sent over some guy who was like, hey, I'm coming over here as a neutral party. It's like, oh, thank God.
That's what I mean. People are fired up.
The golf course just gets everybody angry. It's crazy.
My wife loves to watch golf. She doesn't play very much, but a few years ago, I taught her how to rip golfers, and we're watching Rory, and he leaves a putt like 2 feet short, and this little tiny voice says, does your husband play as well?
There you go. So yeah, the tip of the cap for my brother-in-law. Say a little prayer for him today. That his leg heals on over a golf ball.
Well, I'm guessing your favorite local news station would love to do more on that particular story. If your brother-in-law has any, really?
Yeah, he's in the hospital. Absolutely. His leg is broken, man.
Chris, hurry up! Get your jacket and go over to the hospital.
Get off.
Breaking news.
I'll text you, Tom.
Yeah, let me know. Let me know what the deal, because I haven't talked to him yet. Catherine reached out to him and talked to him. I haven't talked to him yet.
Were police called?
I believe so. Yeah.
You're gonna get.
And what city was it in?
I think it was at Brookview. What is that? Where is it? Is that in Brooklyn Park or where? Brooklyn Center? I don't know. You know where the hell that is? Brookview Golf Course. Kevin's good at looking stuff up quickly.
There we go. Looks like Brookview Golf Course and Lawn Bowling in Golden Valley.
Brookview's. Oh, that can't be that. No, so it couldn't have been in Brookview, because I know that golf course. That guy does a great job.
All right.
Who knows? That guy is psychotic.
I'll text you later, Tom.
All right, sir.
Okay.
Thank you. Behave. Oh, big shot.
Oh, sorry, I'm late.
Channel 5's Chris Egert is brought to you by Mr. Money Talk, Josh Arnold. Call Josh today for your free 48-minute evaluation, 952-925-5608. I love that. 8:45. Oh, I gotta go. It's like, settle down, you big baby.
Yeah, a lot of news happening today.
That's right.
So much news.
Sugar tit all the way.
Got to go ruin all the trick-or-treaters like Halloween's and tell them that the snow is coming.
That's so. A drunk golfer in Canada got arrested for smashing his driver over another guy's head. There's 2 attacks on a golf course in Canada and the United States, and one of them is my brother-in-law. The other one, this poor Canadian bastard, got hit in the head.
Unbelievable.
Wow. Do you know how dangerous it would be to hit somebody in the head with a driver?
Terrible.
Yeah, that's like borderline attempted murder.
Absolutely it is.
You remember when graphite shaft drivers became the rage back in the early 90s, I think it was.
Sure.
And there were 2 stories, and they're terrible. Happened in the same year. Of guy hit a bad drive, walks up to the cart or the back of the bench, pounds the driver, snaps off, hit him in the heart and killed him.
Oh, yeah. It killed him?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Because, you know, the old metal ones would just bend. And
yeah, that's very true. That's terrible.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go to vomit or something. I don't know. That's oh, sorry. Okay, we'll take a break. Be right back. Right bake. Yeah, good, Tom. I still can't believe. I can't believe that the day my brother-in-law gets attacked, some other guy gets attacked in Canada. When's the last time you heard of somebody getting attacked at a golf course that made international news?
When was the last time you think they got to play golf in Canada in October 28th?
Right. Well, that's a good point. That's a very good point.
Goddamn global warming.
Got some more news coming up, some great guests coming up. Of course, KB2, Kristen Burt coming on to ridicule me. I know that. That'll be just how it is. We'll be right back in a couple minutes. Mike Lindell and MyPillow employees want to thank all our listeners for all your continued support. When Mike started MyPillow, it was just a problem solution, one product company. Well, since then, they now have hundreds of products some of you may not even know about. For example, the brand new 4-pack dish towel sets, just $25. 6-pack towel sets, just $25. Bed sheets for as low as $25. Check out their overstock and closeout sale and save up to 80% off select items. You're looking for a good night's sleep? Take advantage of the classic collection on a variety of MyPillows for as low as $9.88. These amazing offers won't last long, so order now. Just go to MyPillow.com or call 800-516-5146 and use promo code TOM.
Is that text you're sending so important that you missed your turn? Is that text you're sending so important that you ran the red light? Is that text you're sending so important you didn't see the ball coming onto the road or the child that followed? Hi, I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw & Bryant. When you take your eyes off the road for even 4 seconds, your vehicle travels 100 yards. That's the entire length of a football field. If you absolutely have to text, you need to pull off the road somewhere safe and do it from there. Texting and driving is against the law and can cause serious injury or even death to you and others. Now that is important. We hope you're never injured in a collision, but if you are, please contact us.
Find Bradshaw & Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
Going farther with Mike Bryant on your side, seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw and Bryant.
Does thinking about retirement make you uncomfortable? Sometimes the anxiety for wondering if you've saved enough can be overwhelming. But what if I told you that you could ease those tensions in just 48 minutes? My guy, Josh Arnold, Mr. Money Talk, can sit down with you and get you on the right track for your financial future. Josh has navigated it all when it comes to uncertain market and economic conditions, and he'll always provide straight talk. Never sugar-coated advice on how to reach the finish line with your retirement goals. Don't let your financial worries give you an ulcer or keep you from calling Josh right now. His 48-minute no-obligation consultation could be just what you need to feel better about your future. Call Josh today at 952-925-5608. Set up your free 48-minute no-obligation consultation. That's 952-925-5608. Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC Security Investment Advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments must involve risk. You know that. All comments and opinions of Josh Arnold do not constitute investment advice. I am a paid endorser.
This is the Tom Barnard Podcast.
Perfect. This is perfect timing.
We were just talking
Doug
about
has a story.
sizzle reels. So somebody at Hubbard once.
I'm coming down the hallway here. You guys. Oh,
well, that's because we had our headphones off, and I'm trying to talk to AJ. Somebody at Hubbard once.
Oh,
I've been making these video clips. In the last week, for the interested fans, go to the Tom Barnard Podcast Facebook page, and the last one, and it's only 25 seconds long, is called "Tom Pees His Pants."
Oh, you put that up?
Of course I did. How could I not?
Oh, God.
Kristen Burt's reaction is just priceless.
Oh,
I thought if she had dentures, they would have fallen out of her mouth. And then I put up another.
I thought she knew about that.
Well, yeah, you were explaining it to her like, oh yeah, I kind of spilled some Diet Pepsi, and we're all thinking like, you know, small little drop. Nope, just full frontal.
I didn't think it was an ad for Depends. And
So
then
I go like this. Honest to God. Oh, thank God this is by. So this is
low
Is that
coconut
pronounced
water
by
type
or
stuff.
bay?
I think it's by
I
water.
think it is by water. Yeah.
I think they use the like the NSYNC or Backstreet Boys.
Yeah, they
bye,
did
bye,
the bye. Yeah.
Oh, do they really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. So I go like this to take a sip.
I know. I saw
And
the
I
clip.
hit
Though. I
it's
actually
like,
made
yeah.
the video.
I mean, there was about a 12-inch by 12-inch puddle in my crotch area.
So go to the Tom Barnard Podcast Facebook page, and you can see that. You can also see, and you should watch this. I put a poll up. It's a clip of Don Shelby singing in a bar.
Oh, yeah,
I said, is he a blues master or should he be incarcerated for cultural appropriation, which I would have voted for. Everybody goes, Don's a blues master. He's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
And then, of course, the famous Tim Lammers explosion of a couple weeks ago.
Do you put that up?
Intercut with Casey Kasem. It's really funny.
Damn it.
So,
That's
listeners,
wonderful.
if you're interested in this stuff, check out the Facebook page. And please share it with your friends. We're just a hair away from 14,000 fans to that page. It'd be nice to get over the top. Onward and upward.
And while we're doing shameless plugs, let's make sure to plug the
shameless plug.
I'm plugging the show.
Yeah, no,
shameless.
Trying to build.
I feel like is that the term you normally use? It's just a shameless plug.
Yeah, we're just gonna throw our stuff in there.
Yeah, okay. You guys were shameless hires.
Let's not throw your stuff in too many people's faces.
So
how about that? Actually,
the next thing I'm going to throw in somebody's face is the YouTube page, Tom Barnard Show on YouTube. Make sure to go like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification. So if you do want to watch the show every day, you get notified the second it's uploaded.
So how hard would it be, now that we're talking shop, to be able to broadcast that live rather than have to wait for you to upload it?
That's a Hubbard related question.
What's that?
Live streaming the show.
Oh, we're not doing
so it's
that.
not live streams. It's all recorded, but you have to wait, 3 hours or so?
There's some people that are far more important than me walking around the Hubbard offices that make that call.
Give me their phone number. Let me.
Why would they make that call?
I don't know. I was just told that we just upload it. That's just how we do it.
See, I think it'd be cool.
I think it'd be cool.
Well, then I got meetings with them for the next 4 days, so
let me know if you
will
need
be
help.
live. Believe me,
I don't have anything to do.
I don't know. Some of the people
I can
in
be
this
the
business,
muscle.
and every place I've ever worked in, radio or whatever, there are some people involved that have no idea what the hell they're doing.
Alan Crutch invented this term because we have this problem in the automotive world too, as you know. He calls captain of the sales prevention department.
It's true. Honest to God.
That's the same thing. And it's upper management is what it is. The sales prevention department.
Okay. Well, there's going to be the Tommy prevention of the upper management then.
Let me know when you're going to talk to them, because I'll send you some stuff that I won't tell you about it now because you'll get so pissed off.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Tell me about it now.
Tom walks in. He's like, and Doug's got some notes, and he just whips open a scroll.
Where were you on the night of the 17th?
Oh, tell me about this. What's going to piss me off?
I got to show you. I'll show you between the shows.
What is it? Are they erasing?
It's an email.
From who?
I'm not going to tell you in case Bernie's
number?
Listening.
Bernie emailed you? What does it say?
You'll see.
Uh-oh.
You know, I'm telling you, I won't say who it is, but one of my advertisers called me this morning and said, yeah, Hubbard's trying to get me to buy one of their other stations and all that stuff. What do you think? It's like, oh, so you know about this.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, he called me this morning.
It's all about
Mike called me this. Yeah. I can say Mike because everybody advertises on this show.
Also, there's like 12 Mikes that are associated with this show.
Yeah,
I never thought about that before. You got a banker, you got a lawyer, and
got a guy
pillow salesman.
Yeah,
this could get really hideous.
So it'll really piss you off. At the bottom of this letter where they're pimping GL for advertising, there's a quiz.
It's not even GL. It's SKOR North too.
Oh, okay. Then I saw a different.
It's everybody but us.
But there's a button at the bottom that says, "Where did Tom Barnard go to high school?" I'm like, it's the only mention of you in the whole thing. I'm like,
it's unbelievable. I mean, seriously. Okay, well, this is going to be a great.
God, can't you just feel the tension? This is awesome.
I just don't understand.
You had a nice, boring show going before. It's like,
you bring
it's all this snow on Halloween, blah blah blah.
But you bring all this business over with you, and you get no help.
I'm trying to help you. So
okay, maybe
subscribe to the Tom Barnard Family Podcast.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to have to do it. If they won't do it, we're going to have to do it.
That's right.
Everybody go into the Apple store or your Google store and take the phones that are on display, subscribe to the podcast, hit play. We need to get our views up.
Yep, that'd be cool.
You know,
and then we'll figure out how to live stream it, because that'd be awesome. It's fun to watch.
Why wouldn't they do that in the first place? It's the smart thing to do.
It's more moving pieces, more buttons for AJ to push.
Oh boy,
workload for him.
Bitch.
I mean, if they were worried about a delay, but they don't delay this, right? This is all live stream.
I think this is delayed, right? The audio like 3 seconds probably,
It's
because you can dump button stuff.
It's like a minute.
Yeah.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, but why is it delayed a minute?
That's just how stuff's fed through. Like,
in case somebody says Negroes.
Negros. Oh, he goes right after it, Kevin.
I expect this from him, Doug, but you're supposed to be my friend.
We are friends. That's why I said it.
It's the only place left on earth you can do stuff like that, which I do love. Now, like I said, I just don't understand people. I really don't get it. Makes no sense to me whatsoever, but we'll just move on with.
Let's just put it this way. Some people don't add as much value as they think they do.
Well, you got that right. No question about it. So what other big... Jesus Christ, why did we let him in the door?
I don't know, but this has just been off the rails. First he comes in talking about, Tom, you peed your pants. Everybody go watch it.
Yeah, go watch Tom pee in his pants.
It's hysterical. Just to watch Kristen Burt.
So
she's just like...
Honest to God, I looked down and it just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
And that was my reaction because I listened to it. I listened to it live. I'm like, I got to go back and look at that. And then when you stood up, it's like, holy shit.
Yeah. If he would have been, Tom, if you were like 20 years older, it would have been like, are we sure you dripped the Diet Pepsi?
Yeah. Okay. Now who's the president?
What was the name of that memory care facility?
There you go.
Barron Trump.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So I suppose we probably better go to break so we can get the next segment in, huh?
Yeah. We can take a quick break here.
No, I'm glad you tell me this kind of stuff because I love going over telling people. I'd like it if I just took your noggin right off. We'll be right back. Austin North and Fiona Paloma will be our guests right after this. Part 1 of Outer Banks Season 4. It premiered on October 19th. Part 2 will follow on my birthday, November 7th. We'll be right back. Why should your business bank with North American Banking Company? Here's Austin Bartz of Bartz Lawn and Landscape and Bartz Snow Sculptures.
I started banking with North American, I think, 3.5 years ago. All the people know me by name. I know them by name. It's fun to come into the bank and actually talk to somebody you know. So I made the switch and I'm very happy. It's the best bank I've ever been at.
So why not bank where I bank? With my friends at North American Banking Company. To learn more about North American Banking Company, go to nabankco.com. That's nabankco.com, or do what I do and stop by any one of their 6 Twin Cities locations. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
This is Brett Paul from Valley Buick GMC in Apple Valley. We have always had a professional sales staff on our show floors, but recently have added a few more to the arsenal. Neil Hadding was a salesperson at Valley for over 2 decades. Probably the best truck guy around. He left for a management position elsewhere, but decided to kick back and return to work with thousands of his old friends and customers. It's a similar story with Tim Condon. He spent many years in the sales and finance at Valley before spending time in Alaska, to the relief of many, many friends and customers who returned a few years back. Not a returnee, but a welcome addition to our seasoned staff is Charlie Fink. Charlie followed Neil to Apple Valley to head up the finance department. He is well known to many Twin City car customers after being in the business for over 3 decades. If you're looking for a familiar face or just the face of experience, visit one of these professionals at Jim Paul's Valley Buick GMC in Apple Valley or Hastings, or at valleycardealers.com.
You're listening to the Tom Barnard Podcast.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen. Austin North and Fiona Paloma join us. Austin, Fiona, how you doing?
Doing well. Thanks for having us.
Well, I'm glad you're both doing really, really well, because I was just told a friend that liked to go out and punch somebody right in the head, but not you two. So I'm glad that you're here to cheer me up. It's so weird. We were just talking, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, but the segue here has to be how mean everybody is right now. Hitting each other in the head. We had one in Canada and one in the United States, people hitting each other in the head with a golf club on October 29th. I mean, that's okay. Settle down, folks. You don't need to be that angry. What you need to do is watch Outer Banks. Part 1 of Outer Banks Season 4 premiered on October 10th, and Part 2 will follow on November 7th. By the way, Austin, Fiona, thank you, because November 7th is my birthday, so thank you for doing that.
Yes, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. So tell us all about it. Following last season's 18-month flash forward, showing Wes's proposal for the Pogues to find Blackbeard. Oh, I want to hear all about Blackbeard's treasure. That's what I want to hear about all of it, actually.
Well, I wish I had all the details. The Cougs don't get too involved in that treasure hunt, but I will say Blackbeard is going to hopefully save the Pogues from the debt that they're getting themselves into. After 3 seasons of treasure hunting, they finally found the El Dorado treasure. And now they're kind of forced back into the treasure hunting game, and they gotta pay the bills. So Blackbeard's next.
So it does cost a lot of money to try to find this. Do you guys happen to, I'm sure you do, I don't know what it would be. Is there a world record holder for the biggest treasure like this ever found?
I think Fiona's got the details on that.
Oh, do you, Fiona? Okay. Did you find it?
I unfortunately do not. I really need to know this now, so I'm invested in this.
I assume, but because Austin said so, that Fiona, you know all about this, but then we turn it over to you and you draw, fumble. But other than that,
it looks like not Blackbeard, but Black Swan, a shipwreck discovered in 2007.
2007.
There we go, 500.
But Fiona knew that already. She was just holding out on us.
They found 17 tons of coins valued at $500 million.
Holy oh my God.
Good Lord.
I love it. Austin, who's in the business, goes, good Lord. Okay, Austin.
Calm down, buddy.
Yeah, well, exactly. No, you and me both, no question about it. But this must be a lot of fun, what you're doing. I suppose there's a lot of work too, but man, you get a lot of fun doing it too, isn't it?
Sorry, can you repeat that last part?
I just said, Fiona's really holding up her end of this interview, but Austin's not really doing much. No, I didn't.
Yeah,
no,
I just got in the industry at 13. You'd think by now.
Yeah, there you go. How old are you now? Like 14?
Yeah, right.
So what? No, tell us all about it. The situation, part 1, like I said, part 2 will be on November 7th. It's a week from tomorrow, as a matter of fact, or is it a week? Yeah, a week from tomorrow. What's the 30th today? So what's it all about? How'd you guys get involved in this in the first place? I mean, it's got to be very exciting, I would think.
Yeah. I mean, we started this show in 2019. That was when season 1 started. And as for me, I had, I honestly, just personally, I was thinking about throwing in the towel career-wise. I'd grown up doing Disney Channel, and I was just in kind of this dry spell, and audition after audition. I was getting really discouraged, and was like, is this really for me? And I got this audition for Outer Banks. I booked it. I got a call to be in Charleston, South Carolina the next day. So I got on a plane, went there, and none of us knew what the show was going to be. And I'm just so grateful to be a part of it. And we're just so close as a cast, and grateful to have somebody like Fiona join us in season 3 and now season 4. And it's just so much fun.
Yeah, well, Fiona's just in the back going, thank you.
He is very kind.
No, it is very, I understand. So how long you guys known each other?
Well, since 2002 now?
Whoa.
Sorry, 22. It's really early, guys.
Okay, Fiona's having a big morning. I was either 2 years or it was 22 years ago. I can't remember.
Why can I tell you guys about the biggest treasure and I don't even know what it is?
What time is it in Hawaii right now?
Yeah, exactly.
Right. It was like 2002. We were extras on Ant Farm.
I did not understand the silence on anyone's behalf until I realized what I said. I was like, why am I messing up?
So Fiona,
2022, 2 years now.
Fiona, what time did you leave the bar last night?
I actually, funny enough, don't drink. I'm just naturally stupid.
Oh, no. Don't be so hard on yourself.
You guys just earned a spot to come on every day on this show if you want to. That's all I have to say. This is very, very entertaining. Austin, you're a good person. You guys are very, very. I love this whole deal. She's like, nah, I don't even drink. I'm just not that bright. But other than that, hey, it works. But I mean, to do this, do you guys do a lot of interviews?
Yeah. During this press run, I was just in Houston. We're doing a press tour right now. I was in Houston and then Toronto. I just got back last night, so it's been fun.
I just love this. On the thing, I just glanced down at one part of the descriptive that sent us, about the show, Outer Banks and all the rest of it. Season 4 premiered October 10th, part 2. come up on November 7th. But at the bottom it says, meanwhile, their problems are only growing. Oh, that's nice to hear. That's really great to hear that your problems are only growing. So that's good.
That's what we do.
It's got to be a ball doing what you do, though, right?
It is. It's honestly the best job in the world, and to be able to film in Charleston, South Carolina, it's such a beautiful place in general. Yeah, grateful.
No question about it. So people, now what we're going to have to, how many more parts do you have? You have part 2 coming out on November 7th. How many weeks do you go on?
This will be the last part. This will be the final 5 episodes along with the finale. And, I haven't seen it. I can't say much about it. It's going to be a surprise, but I think the fans are going to love it.
So when's the final?
Sorry, it's November 7th. All
it is. So it is.
Out.
All 5 come out on November 7th, which means before sometime in the middle of December, you guys are going to have to come back because I'll miss you too much if you don't.
I know. I don't know what I'm going to do without you.
That sounded very sincere, Austin. I will tell you that. No question about it. But no, I wish we had people like you. Oh, and we do have a lot of great guests on, but to come a Fiona, I just love your honesty. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
So what time is it where you are right now, Fiona?
It's not that early. It's 7 a.m.
Oh, that's early. That's plenty.
That's
plenty early.
We
that's
get it.
plenty early.
We understand.
I understand.
I'll lock in a few hours.
I'll be around noon today.
I had a quick question, Tom, if you don't mind. With all of the so Hollywood's kind of been up and down. Did you guys film this during the strike, or was the strike interrupted or interrupt production for you guys at all, or not really?
Yeah, it did interrupt production. It took us a year to the day to film this entire show. There's a little hiccup in between.
Yeah, and how, I guess, in comparison to a non-interrupted, how long does it usually take you guys to film a season of Outer Banks?
I would say on average 6 to 9 months.
Oh, okay, so yeah, impacted quite a bit then by the strike and things like that.
Yeah.
All right, so we got 5 more parts. You're gonna have to come on for those, and then no matter what happens, we got to have you on like at least once a month to get Fiona up at 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning.
Exactly. Just give me like an hour of coffee before, and then I'll come in.
Now I have a question for you guys, and maybe you guys, this has never happened before or whatever, but I guess, Austin, you'd have to answer this question. So when you guys pop on other stations, all the rest of it, and Fiona's not quite awake yet, do some of them get upset? Because I think it's wonderful that she's like, yeah, great talking. That's wonderful. But I got to see some of these broadcasters are like, well, this is very unprofessional, and therefore,
what is that snoring I hear?
Why is Fiona snoring during the show?
It's Fiona, the time traveler from 2002.
Yeah. She's in 2002 at the moment. We just got to adapt. But no, everyone today has been a lot of fun. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, good.
That's good.
Similar vibe to you guys.
Energy, right?
You guys are at the top of my list. But
well, I'm glad to hear.
But
that.
How many of them made you look up Black Swan $500 million real life treasure?
That's question.
Yeah, you're really keeping us on our toes.
I'm right back in school right now. That's what's happening. 7. I'm like looking up history. That's what's happening.
Oh, God. No, I'm not kidding you. I don't care whatever it is you want to talk. You can come on and talk about, setting the alarm clock. You guys got to come back on. This was wonderful.
Oh,
sounds like a plan. It was a pleasure.
Yeah.
Austin, North, Fiona Paloma. Ladies and gentlemen, part 1 of Outer Banks season premiered on October 10th. Part 2 will follow on November 7th. And we will talk to Austin and Fiona hopefully many, many more times in my career. That's all I have to say.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Likewise. Thank you so much.
Care.
Bye. I just loved her. She's like, I don't really want to be here. You can kind of tell.
The thing is, like, all of the press junkets and like events I see for cast members on that show, they seem like they're just having a blast
really?
all the time. They're always ribbing each other. Austin's like, yeah, Fiona, tell us about the treasure that I'm sure you know all about. Let us know. they seem like they really enjoy being on set, being around each other. Because I know, like Kristen's told us so many times about how, as seasons go on, like cast members basically are like at arms and they can't stand to be in the same room. Blah blah blah. It seems like the Outer Banks cast really is making the most of it, and you can tell that in that interview that we just had, but also like on screen, the chemistry seems to be there.
Really, really nice people.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So much, we need more of that. And I think, to tell you the truth, part of it is the fact, well, again, my brother-in-law just got attacked on the golf course, and by the same day, some guy in Canada gets hit in the head with a golf club. And I am sick to death of how mean people are now. And most of the blame can go to both parties, the Democrats and the Republicans. All you do is talk about how horrible people are. Why do they do that? I mean, I might not even vote this year because I hate all of this rhetoric from both of them.
I voted yesterday.
Did you?
Yeah. Me and Sarah were out for a walk, and
you got her taken care of.
There's a government center, in and out in 4 minutes.
It doesn't take very long. I know that. But I mean, it's a very, very, but these two calling each other these names, and she's a moron and he's a Nazi, and look, you're both in it to make money. We know that. This is not about running the country and making America a better place. You're both involved in this to make money. So you think you could show some class, don't you think? No?
I got some good news for you.
Oh, you do?
The Pee Your Pants video. We just got 128 views, and it's monetized. Guess how much money we made?
Ooh,
just sitting here.
$1.50?
3 cents.
Ooh. 3 cents. So yeah.
Yep. Rolling in the big dough.
The big cash-a-rooney, ladies and gentlemen. No question about it. So this pee pants thing's all over the internet. That's great. That's fantastic. It's Diet Pepsi, wild cherry Diet Pepsi too, by the way.
That's the end of the clip where you're talking about your balls.
I just need like a freeze frame of Tom standing up with his pee pants next to like Billy Madison.
Billy Mays here.
Like Billy Mays.
No, but I'm saying like for the OxyClean is the only thing. Like, there's so many revenues we can.
We probably get like a Sham Wow endorsement off of this. Yeah,
make a lot of money.
I'll go to work.
Sham Wow, is that still around?
I don't think so. I think the guy that was like the spokesperson for it died.
I thought he went to jail.
Or did he go to jail? Oh, that's what it was. Okay.
Did he go to prison?
I thought so.
Sham
that might have just been an SNL skit I saw though.
What was his name? Because one was Billy Mays.
Vince Offer. He's still alive, 60 years old.
Did he go to prison or jail anyway?
Billy Mays died of like cocaine heart attack.
Billy. Yeah, that's he was the other big like guy doing all the promotions and stuff. Yep. Yeah,
but it doesn't say how your boy did.
It says the Sham. I'm just seeing from NBC News in 2013. The ShamWow guy Vince Offer has returned after a sex scandal to clean up his act with the new product Invincible.
But Invincible?
I don't know what that is,
it
was
a condom, actually.
Yeah, accused of sex crimes. I'm going to make a bounce back with a product named after myself.
You know what we should do? We should claim that he's having sex with a guy named Vince. What do you think? Invincible, get it?
We do.
What's wrong with that?
It's brilliant.
Oh, shut up.
It's not brilliant.
SNL's looking for a writer.
Yeah, SNL. Although I heard this year that SNL's really good.
I think they've been, the openings are great.
That's what I hear.
And Weekend Update that's as good as it's ever been. Michael Che and Big Teeth. What's his name?
Colin Jost.
Colin
Jost. Yeah. Who's he married to again?
Scarlett Johansson.
Scarlett Johansson.
I mean, they're really funny together, and they're always funny. They never have a bad show.
We had him in studio at the Q, and he's a very nice guy.
Is he? Well, that's good.
Well, he was then before he was with Scarlett Johansson. Maybe he's all arrogant as shit now, but no, he was a really very nice guy.
Why would you be arrogant? If anybody give you any crap, he goes, "Here's a picture of my wife."
Here's my wife. Oh, you do that all the time with my wife. Yeah, really? Yeah. Here, look. Like you don't, by the way.
I do that.
I know you do.
Also, AJ really undersold this arrest record for Vince.
I saw some other stuff too. I think did he go
allegedly,
by a different name?
Allegedly, so there was a 26-year-old prostitute that was arrested alongside of him, but they got into some sort of altercation, and the police report states that the woman had bitten onto Offer's tongue and refused to let go, at which point the officer punched her in the face until she let go.
Now there's a TV movie.
Wow, what a morning we've started here.
Did he go by the name Vince Shlomi too?
Shlomi?
I believe Sticky.
Sticky?
He had a couple names.
Yeah, no,
that could all be cleaned up with a brand new ShamWow.
Yeah,
exactly.
So, anyway,
I've been called Tom Brainerd before, so maybe that's
it's like a term of endearment.
Tomato.
Maybe. Is that what it is?
The cop punched her so she wouldn't bite his tongue.
Yeah, lacerations and fractured her face.
He fractured her face?
Yeah, she was really biting down on that tongue.
Ouch.
See, this is my psych training. Never mind.
What?
There's a good way to get rid of a bite release without punching somebody.
Oh, really?
Just push right on the back of the jaw.
I suppose right there. Yeah,
you got to push pretty hard, but I'll do it to you.
They'll start choking.
No.
Yeah, they'll start choking.
Show me on AJ.
Right?
No, it hurts so much you'll go ah.
Oh, that's what it is. Because I wouldn't believe you choke too.
Well, you could choke them out, but that's kind of like punching somebody.
Yeah.
Well, why don't you punch him and choke him out, and then do this? Do all three.
Yeah. Triple combo. Yeah.
And it's the Democrats and the Republicans that are inciting violence, apparently.
No, it's me.
We're talking about choking up people.
Honest to God, I am. Aren't you sick of it, though?
I don't watch the news.
Oh, I can't do it. I can't watch.
One of the reasons we voted yesterday. I said, let's get it over with. Let's just go.
I agree. There's no question about it. We'll take a. Oh, one thing I got to give you a tip before we go to Kristen Burt. We'll take a break. Come back with Kristen Burt. But I was at the Minnesota Health Center up in Maple Grove. Catherine had a procedure yesterday, so I went to pick her up. She's fine. It was nothing serious or anything like that.
Boob job?
Yes. I'm the boob job in her life, believe me. Biggest boob she's ever met. But in any case, the people up there, unbelievably nice.
It's awesome.
The listeners to the show up there was very, very. This one guy I talked to yesterday, I'm sorry, sir, I'm sorry I didn't get your name because I know you're listening. He just went, he literally said, 39 years ago, I tried to get you guys to come and do it. And nobody ever told me about this. It was to raise money for something. I can't remember. This guy, honest to God, it was like he was so excited. Isn't that sweet?
It's weird if you ask me.
Maybe it is just weird. But to close that conversation, so I go down to the pharmacy to pick up the medication for Catherine when we take her home and all the rest of it. Nutella makes cookies now. Have you ever had a Nutella cookie?
No, but that's on the top of my list now.
Oh my God, are they good? They're like they're like a little Oreo looking kind of thing.
Paging Livia, clean up aisle 2. Paging Livia.
Yeah, they're exactly. Well, that's very, very true, isn't it? But yeah, good job. Okay, so now the next 15 minutes of the show, the final 15 minutes of the show, will be talking about me with the fake pee in my pants because of Doug Sprinthal and Kristen Burt. So that'll be fun for me. I'd like to stand up and show you I have not peed my pants today. I haven't spilled any pop. Well, I drank my last bottle of Diet Pepsi.
Sad day.
It is sad. No
Keep
question.
talking. We're up to 5 cents.
We're up to 5 cents now?
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that.
We're going to have AM DJ money pretty soon.
You're damn right. We'll take a break. Be right back. Kristen Burt to ridicule the piss out of me right after this. Does thinking about retirement make you uncomfortable? Sometimes the anxiety for wondering if you saved enough can be overwhelming. But what if I told you that you could ease those tensions in just 48 minutes? My guy, Josh Arnold, Mr. Money Talk, can sit down with you and get you on the right track for your financial future. Josh has navigated it all when it comes to uncertain market and economic conditions, and he'll always provide straight talk. Never sugar-coated advice on how to reach the finish line with your retirement goals. Don't let your financial worries give you an ulcer or keep you from calling Josh right now. His 48-minute no-obligation consultation could be just what you need to feel better about your future. Call Josh today at 952-925-5608. Set up your free 48-minute no-obligation consultation. That's 952-925-5608. Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC Security Investment Advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments must involve risk. You know that. All comments and opinions of Josh Arnold do not constitute investment advice. I am a paid endorser.
When you need someone to listen, a lawyer you know and trust.
If you've never been in an auto accident, it's hard to know what to expect from the insurance adjuster. Here are some tips. 1, if they talk to you about whether or not you should hire a lawyer, it's a good sign that you probably should. 2, it's illegal for them to give you any legal advice. They aren't lawyers and they aren't licensed to practice law. 3, if they tell you that everyone involved in the accident is at fault, they're wrong. This comes from the belief that you're at fault for just being on the road. That's nonsense and not supported by any law. Finally, remember that friendly adjusters are often just gaining information. They want you to do most of the talking so they can file their report. I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw and Bryant. I hope you're never injured in a collision. But if you are, don't sign anything until you've talked to us.
Find Bradshaw and Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
Seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw and Bryant.
I hosted my show on the radio for 40 years. Now I host the Tom Barnard Podcast. And I'll tell you, I've never seen the passion and engagement from our audience as I do now. I know we also have businesses that listen to our podcast, and it got me thinking, wouldn't it be great to help those businesses grow by telling my listeners about them? So here's the deal. If you own or handle marketing for a business, would like to have my audience buy your product or service, visit TomBernardShow.com, keyword partner, and we'll put together an ad campaign to help your business. That's TomBernardShow.com, keyword partner, and thank you for listening.
You're listening to the Tom Barnard Podcast.
Stop smiling at me. I can see that smile. Pill. Kristen,
I watched the YouTube video. Sorry.
I know you did. I'm going to hear all about that. Kristen Bird Entertainment News brought to you by North American Banking Company. Go to nabanco.com to learn more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. You know, the greatest part of that is, and I don't know if it was included in the story on social media or not, but so I got this Diet Pepsi and I'm sitting here drinking. And all of a sudden I go to, and I just spilled it all over my, I mean, literally it was about an inch deep sitting in the crotch of my pants. And all of a sudden it started expanding, getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Well, apparently you saw the stain in my crotch. Is that correct?
Well,
yeah, we all saw it.
Yeah.
Well, they made me stand up. Said, "Go."
The only headline is Tom pees his pants.
Oh, well, that's just great, dude.
It's called a teaser in social media.
So you put up that I peed my pants. Well, thank you so much.
Hey, do you want followers or not? We could talk about traffic.
Who's responsible for this?
I did that.
Doug.
You know what I think, Doug? I think you need to start a TikTok account, and that is the first post.
I've actually just, they asked me to take over social media about a month ago, so I just started making little 30-second and 1-minute videos, figuring I can spread them around a little bit. And there's a couple of funny ones in there. My favorite one actually is a family podcast where you start talking about how you don't watch the national news, and the entire family just jumps on you.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, you're a centrist, and I grew up in North. It's really funny, and it's 45 seconds long. That's the kind of stuff that does work.
So
that's the next phase.
So attacking me is the whole basis of it.
Tim Lammer's got it the worst. Did you see that one, Kristen?
Wait, Tim's
go into the Facebook page afterwards and look. There's a video and a poll: who blew up more, Tim Lammers or Casey Kasem? Tim was having a really bad day. He was delayed. He was on 10 minutes late, and I cut the two together so they're both swearing, and it's pretty funny.
Doug, that's
I actually went a little too far. I had to tell Tim, I said, I only posted this because you're a friend and you have a great sense of humor. And he goes, Tom hasn't returned my calls. And I said, he's like that. He'll call you back. Listen, you're not an 8th grade girl. Calm down.
So I didn't know about the blow up because that day I was on right after Tim. Yeah. And I must have come at the tail end of his segment. So I didn't hear it. So one of your listeners was like, oh my God, did you hear about Tim's meltdown? I'm like, Tim Lammers had a meltdown. So I went back to go and listen. And I was like, oh my God. And I was like, and then I was thinking maybe I should come in with a bit and have a meltdown myself because I'm waiting in the green room.
You should have a meltdown. Tom, you suck.
So it's cut with a famous Casey Kasem video about the dead dog introduction and blowing up. And
that's a very famous Casey Kasem.
I love that when he goes, and I got to talk about a goddamn dog dying.
Yeah.
Enjoy the Saturday. We're on until 2:00. 2:00. Damn it.
Those blow-ups are great.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome.
That stuff.
All right. I'm going to do one day, just out of
all right.
I've been in here for 10 minutes and you're talking about your pee stain on your pants.
Maybe
I'm going to be writing articles about Jennifer Lopez.
That's P as in Pepsi, by the way.
Yes.
The pee stain. Yes, it is a pee stain, but it's P as in Pepsi.
Maybe you can get a Pepsi endorsement.
Yeah,
sure.
I bet. Yeah, exactly. This stuff tastes like piss. Yeah, great. They would love that. I'm sure they would love it. But now this, if I spilled this in my crotch, this would be a problem because this is purple. It's Celsius grape.
I think it's clear. I think it's.
Oh, is it clear?
I believe that they don't use artificial color, so it should be clear.
Are you trying to get me to pour some on my pants?
It could be a setup. Maybe that.
Jimi Hendrix did the national anthem once, and that was enough. It was perfect. You don't need to do it twice.
No, you're absolutely right. Okay, so what are you going to complain about when you go off the deep end?
I just did. My thing was, I'm like, I'm trying to write about J-Lo and Ben and their divorce, and I'm waiting here.
That's your big blow up. That's the whole deal.
You guys know I'm not gonna have a blow up.
So
I just multitask. I have another laptop right over here.
Oh, you do?
I do. So when you guys are jibber jabbering away,
jibber jabbering,
and then when I hear the what is it? Well, how about if my listeners do their advertising here on the show? When I hear that, that is my cue to put on my headphones.
Oh, it is?
Yes.
Because I don't hold back on anything.
Well, that's because I can multitask. I can get an article done, and then I'm like, oh, I'm needed in about 10 seconds. So
can you do another Tom impersonation?
Oh, great.
How about my listeners go and advertise on my show?
That's really close.
Yeah, it's spooky.
That's really spookily close.
You're like Rich Little.
Honestly, oh God, remember that?
What?
Rich Little was on the Tonight Show, and he was introduced to somebody, and somebody goes, "A Rich Little what?" He didn't know his name was Rich.
Oh
Little.
no.
That's really.
He's like, "Where's the punchline?"
Yeah, where's the punchline? Rich Little what?
I have a serious question for Kristen.
Oh, here we
watched
go.
Something fabulous last night. It's a new Netflix movie called Woman of the Hour. Have you seen that?
I haven't seen it yet. What did you think?
Excellent. So the story is, it's actually true. Takes place in the 70s. It's about a serial killer who was actually on the dating game
with Anna Kendrick.
I did see that.
And other than one or two little slips, they nailed the 70s vibe perfectly. The cars are perfect. I mean, they're not, because they're all shit boxes from the 60s. This is what we drove in the 70s, right? The phones, the language, the way people dress. There was only one slip up when the murderer was talking to one of the contestants on the show, and they're going to have a fight. And he goes, "Well, why don't we just share contact info?" Nobody said that in 1977.
No.
But other than that, it's really good. And Anna Kendrick.
Her hair was, I didn't think, very 70s. That was the one thing.
A little bit.
I've seen the photos. But she wound up directing that. The director dropped out at the last minute, and she wound up taking over. Yeah.
I watched it over the weekend, Doug, and I thought it was pretty good too.
Yeah.
Anna Kendrick is a really good actress, and she's quirky. Like, if you think about some of the projects that she's done, they're always like a little off kilter, and that's what I like about her. Her personality
the guy
is like
that plays the serial killer is spooky. I mean, he just oozes this really weird vibe. It's not overtly violent, but it's really good. I'd be curious what you think when you see it.
Yeah, it's on my list. And the dating game serial killer that's a pretty famous case too. And for true crime, I'm sure a lot of people who follow true crime probably know that case.
Yeah. And is it true that she donated all the money she made to like victims of violent crimes? Yes. And she herself is a survivor of domestic violence. So she's been talking a lot about that during the promotion of the show. And she, I know we've talked a lot about domestic violence on the show and like, how does it happen and why it takes women so long to leave. And she said she didn't even have like the stereotypical case. She was with someone for 6 or 7 years, and it was such a gradual, slow progression that until things like really snapped, she didn't realize what was happening. And that's why she was in it for so long, because she's like, everything was fine until it wasn't.
One thing, and I won't give it away because it'd be a spoiler alert. Make sure you watch the text at the end of the movie. There's a couple of twists that actually happen. It's like, oh my God, I can't believe this.
Okay, great. Anyway. Yeah. You know what? I'm going to stay in tomorrow night, even though it's Halloween night. Our building doesn't do trick or treat. So, because everyone goes to the neighborhood behind us. So I'm like, that seems to be like the perfect night to watch.
There are a lot of buildings that don't allow trick or treating any longer. What happened?
In Los Angeles, it's because you have the security issues of people constantly coming in and out.
Yep.
So they just send people to the neighborhood. We have a huge neighborhood right behind us that will do it, and it's just easier that way. And there are certain neighborhoods. My mom lives in one of them in Florida where people just drop their kids off, and it's thousands of people. And my mom said, like, it's to the point that the neighbors actually just set up a table at the end of their driveway and sit and hand out the candy. It's too much to have like the doorbell constantly ringing all night. It's sensory overload.
Makes sense. That does make sense. No question about it. I loved, did you love Halloween when you were a kid? I did.
No, I wasn't really, you know what I think? Because I was dancing all the time and wearing costumes for shows and everything else and doing Nutcracker, like I felt like I got my dress up all of the time. And I also think it is why I eloped with my husband, because I worked red carpets all the time. I get my big day of hair and makeup and gowns and all of that. That we did my dress was a sundress that cost $14.99 on my wedding day. So
oh, there you go.
I think that like I got all of that out of my system, whether it was, dance shows, red carpets. I just never did it. I like the candy though.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Do you know of anybody else that ever got robbed of their Halloween candy?
On Halloween? Oh no.
That
I grew up in the suburbs.
I grew up in the suburbs.
I grew up in the suburbs.
But I've never heard of anyone suburb, not whatever. My friend Mike Devitt and I got robbed of our candy, and we were both in first grade at the time. Ooh, robbing a 4 or 5-year-old.
That's so sad.
It is unbelievable.
Is the robber a fifth grader?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, okay.
Probably about fifth,
It's not
sixth grade.
quite robbery. It's kind of what fifth graders do. To
robbery for
petty theft.
I'm sorry, you're deeply scarred. Okay.
Was it at like stick point?
It wasn't stick point. You're absolutely right. Very good point. It was. Well, Mike and I made a mistake. We walked down an alley. That was not a good idea.
Oh, yeah. See, it's always those decisions. You're like, oh, let's cut through the alley. Probably not a good idea, but it'll be fine. And then all of a sudden, danger looking around the corner, and you lose your $100,000 bar at stick point.
The $100,000 bar, baby. That's all I know.
I think it's just $100,000 now. And I heard that they've taken out a lot of the crunchies. Like, you know how like had all the Rice Krispies at the top? There's only like a couple now because everything is shrinkflation.
I still love Rice Krispies, though. You got to be honest with you.
Rice Krispie treats are the greatest dessert. I will die on that hill.
The marshmallow.
Yeah. Or even the cereal, and you just pour way too much sugar on it. And so you're just essentially eating a bowl of sugar milk.
That's a frosted flake right out of the box.
Yeah. God, wonderful. That's wonderful stuff. So you will not be celebrating the holiday tomorrow night?
I will not. No. And I'm okay with that. Is everyone, I mean, you guys have big plans?
I'm the same way. My Halloween experience growing up was my mom being like, I'll go to the store and buy all the candy you want, pizza. We're going to sit inside and just watch movies. And
that sounds fun. I like that idea.
What are you talking about? Get out there. Start beating on the doors. Come on.
You have to in New England too, and I'm sure Minnesota's like this, some years it's so cold and you're like, your mom sends you out. I mean, I grew up in an era where your mom would just send you out trick-or-treating, not when you were like little, but by the time you hit second grade, she's like, see you later, come back by 8,
Oh, that's nice.
But that's what my neighborhood was super safe. We lived in an area that we knew all the neighbors, and you would go out with your friends and you'd get your candy and, come back. You had a time to come back. My mom would put her watch like on my wrist. And so I would know when to come back. And that's what it was.
It was pretty much, it was a lot of fun. No question.
It was very simple. I think that's what it is. I don't feel like Halloween or any holiday is simple anymore.
That's very, very true. But, another example, going to St. Joseph's School back in the day, we went, I went trick-or-treating with Chucky Gleason, an Irish kid, Ronald Cloud, a Native American kid, and Benjamin Cruchon, a black kid.
So did you go as the YMCA guys, the village people?
Yeah, we were the village people. That's exactly who we were. No question. But it was, it was one of those situations. It was a totally different time. It was wonderful. And then, of course, when I turned 11, I grew to 6 feet tall and my voice dropped, so nobody would give me any candy because they thought I was like 20.
I probably could have gone trick-or-treating till 16 and a half because my growth spurt was that quick and that short.
16 and a half.
16 and a half.
Yeah.
Trick-or-treat. That would have been cute.
You parked your car at the end of the driveway.
We'd have
I
loved
know I could drive the whole neighborhood. I really was.
You could drive around.
Take my little Honda Accord and drive the neighborhood. I mean, I really was like so short. I was always the runt in my class, and I was one of the youngest in my class too. So that did not help situations.
Yeah, I could see that. All right. Any closing news we should know about other than ridiculing me about pouring Pepsi in my crotch?
Just Doug, let me know when the Tom Barnard Show TikTok account is secured, and you'll get into the creator fund within a matter of days.
It's fun. You know, I did a lot of this stuff back when I worked for the car company, and it's just like everybody's writing these big long things. Because nobody wants to read that. Make short videos. And we used it for everything. We used it for problem solving internally. When you're trying to describe the problem, just make a Calendly video and send it. It's so easy. So I will do that. That's I wanted to get the Facebook up and running, and I hadn't edited videos in years, so it took a while to remember how to do it.
And then, of course, when Tom is the butt of all the jokes,
well, no,
it's
Tim
even better.
Lammers gets it worse.
Don't worry, everyone's going to have their I have a feeling everyone will have their chance to shine and be huge.
That's right.
I'm like, I'm not holding my breath on that one. Like, oh, they're going to avoid me because I'm the girl here.
Well, we'll left no person unhumiliated by the time it's over.
Unhumiliated.
And if anyone wants to get into the spooky season, just like one quick Halloween thought, TCM is running a 48-hour Halloween marathon. So all of the classics like Bride of Frankenstein and Psycho, The House on Haunted Hill, like a lot of great ones over the next 48 hours. So if you're looking for something fun to do.
Do you have a favorite scary movie?
It's The Strangers, the one with Liv Tyler and Scott Speedman. That was so scary.
So scary.
Yep.
Like they'd be like, knock, knock, knock. Is Tamara home? Oh my god!
Or like at the end, it's the why are you doing this? Why are you doing this to us? It's
why are you doing? Yeah, and it's like it will
home.
make you never want to rent a cabin, like an Airbnb in the middle of the woods.
I gotta live in a populated area.
Yes,
that's right.
Oh, I agree. No question about it.
Is that where Let's Hide Behind All the Chainsaws come from? What was that commercial anyway?
That was good.
Geico.
Should we get in the car? No, let's go hide behind the chainsaw.
That was very, very funny.
Yeah, that's me when I go to Universal's. What do they call their Halloween? Halloween
stuff.
Horror Nights. Halloween Horror Nights is what it is.
Night,
They go after the blonde girls first, just like in the movies. That is like their MO. It is the worst nightmare for me to go. I mean, we went one night and he was like, oh my God, he's like, nobody's even paying attention to me. He's like, because they are constantly running up and scaring you. My nerves were frayed by the end of the night. It's like the chainsaw in your ear.
Well, tomorrow's the day, the big Halloween stories tomorrow. You're going to have a big one for us?
A big Halloween story?
Yeah.
I'll come in with something spooky. I'll find something for you guys.
Your big baby viewer trick-or-treating. Is that what it's going to be?
No.
Okay,
no, I used to just like go. I mean, like I think about the costumes. Like my dad once made me a dice, I was a die actually, because I wasn't like, yeah. And my friend went as a pack of cards, like, you know, and you just like take the old Amazon box and like, you know, they would stick your arms through the sides. Those are the old school costumes.
Well, that's my wonderful life that I have. Living at 1200 Spruce Place, 4th floor. I'm 4 years old. My grandma Minnie, who was my mother's mother, Wilhelmina was her name, and we were playing Monopoly. Okay, so she rolls the dice, and one of them falls on the floor, and she says, "Tommy, pick up that dice." And I said, "It's a die, Grandma." Pause. Yeah, why don't you? My own grandma. So there's my upbringing, right?
No need for 23andMe when that family.
You're like, thanks.
Can confirm that is your grandmother.
What are you gonna do? All right, we'll talk to you tomorrow on Halloween Day. Ooh, kids. Tom with another stained crotch on Halloween. Oh, shut up, Kristen Bird.
If we scare you, you could pee in your pants.
Stained crotula.
Who stained crotula?
Crotula.
Crotula is my new name every Halloween.
Will you come in wearing like a cape and like just a big
Suck your blood, pee your pants. It's all
I'm gonna
worth
get
it.
3 days worth of material out of
Yeah,
this.
thanks so much. And I'm the target of all the insults. So that's great. All right, Kristen, laugh it up, sister. Kristen Bird Entertainment News brought to you by North American Banking Company. Go to nabankco.com to learn more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. All right, tomorrow, you guys showing up with any costumes or anything? The two of you?
No,
nothing like that.
I'm going to dress up as a model employee.
Yeah, I'm going to dress up as AJ, and AJ's going to dress up as me.
That ought to work
controversial on my part.
Boy, look at the time. I'd love to stay on, but all right, we'll see you guys tomorrow. The family show is up next.